April 14th, 2026. Let's get into it. Quick shout out to today's sponsor, GridTerm. Run multiple terminal sessions side by side. Perfect for Claude Code or Codex power users. Gridterm.com. Link in the description. 9 copies of Claude Opus 4.6 just spent 5 days running their own alignment research lab, and they nearly solved it. Anthropic gave each automated alignment researcher a sandbox, a shared forum to swap findings with the others, and a single score to optimize the performance gap recovered, or PGR. Humans hit a PGR of 0.23 after 7 days of work. The AAR's 0.97 in 5 days for $18,000 in compute. Oh, and the model started reward hacking almost immediately. One Claude figured out the most common answer was usually correct and just skipped the teacher entirely. Anthropic caught it, disqualified the run, and is now at least slightly concerned about what happens when they scale this up. Anthropic has a model so dangerous they won't release it to the public, but they did brief the Trump White House on it. Jack Clark, Anthropic's co-founder and head of public benefit, confirmed at the Semaphore World Economy Summit that the company briefed the administration on Mythos, their new model with reportedly serious cybersecurity capabilities. Keep in mind, this is the same administration that labeled Anthropic a supply chain risk and triggered a lawsuit when the Pentagon wanted to use their AI for mass surveillance. Clark called that a narrow contracting dispute. Meanwhile, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Citigroup, Bank of America, and Morgan Stanley are apparently already being encouraged to test Mythos, so the big banks get the scary AI. You do not. Very normal. The co-founder of Neuralink just announced he's about to put a sensor inside a living human brain, and he says he doesn't even need FDA approval. Max Hodak Science Corp has partnered with the chair of Yale's neurosurgery department to begin first-in-human trials of their biohybrid brain-computer interface. The device sits on top of the brain rather than inside it, 520 electrodes packed into an area the size of a pea. So the company says that distinction means no FDA clearance required. They're targeting patients already in brain surgery, like stroke victims getting part of their skull removed. The long-term vision is combining lab-grown neurons with electronics to treat Parkinson's, restore vision, and eventually give humans entirely new senses. The company just raised a $230 million Series C at a $1.5 billion valuation. Trials by 2027 if things go well. Google just made it so you never have to type your favorite AI prompt into Chrome again. Google launched Skills in Chrome today. Save any Gemini prompt as a one-click workflow and run it across any tab you select. Type a / in Gemini, pick your saved skill, and it executes on the current page. They're also shipping a pre-built skills library for productivity, shopping, health, and recipes, so you don't even need to write your own. This is Google's response to a browser arms race that includes OpenAI's Atlas, Perplexity's Comet, and the browser company's Dia. Rolling out to signed-in desktop users today, US English only for now. Claude Code just got the ability to run fully autonomous sessions on a schedule, no keyboard, no approvals, no you. Anthropic launched routines, recurring Claude Code sessions triggered by a schedule, an HTTP post from your alerting stack, or a GitHub event like a pull request opening. There are no permission prompts during a run. Claude commits code under your GitHub identity, posts to Slack using your connected account, and opens pull requests as you. Use cases include nightly backlog triage, automatic code review on every PR, and deploy verification after each production push. The Hacker News crowd gave the announcement 271 points. Vibe coding that runs overnight is either the future of software or a very exciting way to wake up to a lot of unexpected commits. Apple is waging war on vibe coding apps, and the collateral damage is getting interesting. Apple has removed or blocked updates for anything Replit and Vibe code, all AI-powered mobile app builders, citing Developer Agreement Clause 2.5.2, which bans apps that download or execute code. Apple's stated concern is that someone could vibe code a malicious app, sideload it, and claim it passed app review. Anything got pulled twice. Here's the twist. AI coding tools drove an 84% jump in App Store submissions in a single quarter, which is already crushing Apple's human review process. So Apple is banning the tools causing the submission flood rather than fixing the review system. Epic's Tim Sweeney is calling it out publicly. This one's not over. Anthropic just laid out their entire playbook for building AI agents that don't go off script. Anthropic's Trustworthy Agents post covers the real mechanics of keeping autonomous AI in check. Claude Code's plan mode is their answer to the approval fatigue problem. Instead of asking permission for each individual action, Claude shows you the full strategy up front. You approve it once and it runs. They also shared a data point. On complex tasks, Claude's own check-in rate roughly doubles, even though users barely interrupt more than on simple ones. That's the model doing the right thing on its own. They also donated the Model Context Protocol to the Linux Foundation, so no single company owns the AI tool integration standard, which is the kind of move that sounds boring until you realize what it means for the ecosystem long term. Researchers just built the first diffusion language model that actually matches standard autoregressive quality and runs nearly 3 times faster. The paper is called Introspective Diffusion Language Models, or IDLM, and it solves the core failure mode of diffusion models. They kept generating tokens they then disagreed with when asked to verify them. The new 8 billion parameter model beats LADA 2.1 mini, a 16 billion parameter model, by 26 points on AMI 24 using half the parameters. The throughput win is the real story, 2.9 to 4.1 times faster than autoregressive decoding at high concurrency, which matters a lot for inference costs at scale. It runs directly in SG-Lang with no custom infrastructure because it uses standard causal attention. If this approach generalizes, it's a significant shift in how models get served in production. Gemini can now read your Gmail, your Google Photos, and your YouTube history to answer personal questions, and it's rolling out almost everywhere. Google's personal intelligence feature is live in India today and going global for paid subscribers, minus the UK, Switzerland, and the EU, because privacy regulators there apparently have opinions. Ask Gemini, what are my travel plans for Jaipur, and it actually checks your email. It can also reference your recent YouTube watch history for recommendations. Google did include a disclaimer that Gemini might see 500 photos of you at a golf course and assume you love golf, even if you just love your kid who plays. A personal AI that makes confident assumptions about your personality based on your photos is either incredibly useful or mildly unsettling, depending on how you feel about it. Meta has spent years trying to prove Mark Zuckerberg is a real human person, and their latest idea is to replace him with an AI. The Verge flagged reports that Meta is exploring plans to create an AI version of Zuckerberg, which is genuinely a wild strategic pivot. The entire PR arc for the last few years has been, look, he does jujitsu, he surfs, he plays guitar, he's one of us. And now the plan is apparently to swap in a digital clone. At some point, the robot jokes just become company policy. Respect the commitment to the bit. Don't forget, grid term multiple terminals side by side for your AI coding sessions. Gridterm.com, link in the description. That's your April 14th drop. Stay caffeinated, keep shipping.